I'd wanted to hold off on doing a review of Warlords of New York, the new expansion for Division 2, until the seasonal content started, given that the expansion itself was out last week, but then they were going to be adding free content every week afterwards, and I wanted to get a hand on what that would entail before I could recommend or not. And honestly, I'm a bit disappointed. The main campaign of Warlords of New York is fine. Like, each of the different areas of New York is a bit distinct. They're about the same size as an area in DC. They have a couple of control points to do. The story itself has a couple of main missions that you can repeat. And the missions themselves are pretty good. The fights against the various agents are pretty good. They are a winner, yes. That's my cat. And, like, the actual going around New York part is pretty fun. Like, New York is an interesting place to explore. There's a lot of hidden items. Thanks, Isaac. Like cosmetic crates to find by shooting them down. There's a lot of verticality, which is nice, compared to the big wide open spaces of DC. Fighting the factions you fought off against in the first game of the Rikers and the Cleaners is pretty fun. Like, it's still more of the Division 2, and that's fine, because the Division 2 is good. Like, it's a good shooter. I enjoyed my time with it last year. And if you get the Division 2 for cheap, like, say when it was down to $3 a couple of weeks back, 30 quid for more of that isn't bad. It took me about 10 hours looking over my YouTube stuff to complete the Warlords of New York campaign. The actual free stuff they've added of seasons, the first part of it came out today, and I finished it today, because you just repeat 4 of the missions that you've already done over the course of the campaign, with no new bad guys, no new dialogue, no new collectibles. There's only 3 recordings at the end of each of the kind of areas you do. Hostiles, and that's it. Yes, Isaac, you've mentioned. So that's a bit disappointing. Having to wait week on week for more content is, it's what it is. There's a battle pass. You get the first battle pass for free with Warlords in New York, and after that they're going to be $10 a piece, but it's only ever going to be cosmetic stuff in them. And some of the cosmetic stuff is nice, some skins for some new weapons you can unlock for free by playing the game, and hey, they're updating the game with more content. That's nice. It'll be good to have an excuse to return to Division 2 regularly. But whether or not you should actually spend $30 in Warlords in New York, it's going to depend an awful lot on how much you like the Division. I mean, if you've already been playing it for the last year since it came out regularly and got to World Tier 5 back in the day, you probably already bought it. So I don't know why you're watching this video. But if you haven't played any of the Division 2, I'd just stick with that. Like, don't bother doing the boosts to get your guy up to level 30 so you can play through the new Warlords New York campaign, because it's more of a Division 2. Like, there's plenty of game to play as is. Play through the main story, enjoy exploring DC, and by the time you're done with that 45-hour campaign, then this will probably be on sale. Like, I'd say 15 quid. Much more reasonable price. Yes, Isaac. One thing that sadly hasn't changed is the repetitive combat dialogue. On the plus side now, GTF aren't around, no one could hear him saying, "Small arms fire! I repeat, we are taking small arms fire! Can anyone respond?" Which is still in my head from the first game. They also had a couple new skills with the expansion. 2 of them are utterly useless. There's a decoy that the enemies seem to ignore, and there is a shock traps, which I will equip quickly to show you, because they sound good, but they're really not. The idea is that you can throw them out, and they'll stun people, and they've got a huge radius to them. Huge radius. Look at how many traps that is. Except that when you're playing on anything apart from normal, enemies just walk through them and don't care. Oh, and bad guys can also shoot your traps when they're shooting at you, or throwing grenades at you, at which point then the traps will then shock you. And then you end up standing in the open and getting murdered. So, shock traps, not great. Not great at all. The best one is the sticky bomb launcher, because it's literally just a case of you point where you want it to go when it's pretty much hit scan. And then when you blow it up, you get a huge radius. There's one that sets people on fire, and there's one that blows people up. And honestly, they're both pretty great. So, probably not worth spending 30 quid for those skills, but they're worth trying out if you do get them. Because, you're paying for the content. What am I even trying to say? I'm saying don't spend 30 quid on this, I guess.
Hostiles guarding location nearby.
Yes, Isaac. Wait for it to go on sale. Or put that money towards, like full games coming out in the coming weeks. Like Neo 2, or Doom Eternal, or Animal Crossing, or Red Fantasy 7. Like, next month is going to be packed. If you already have a Division, just do the free stuff. So yeah, I'd recommend waiting on a sale. I don't mind the time I spent with this, because I enjoyed the Division 2, but it doesn't feel worth 30 quid to me. Thanks for watching.